Hey guys, it's Brant from In My Head channel, and I'm back with a video. And you know, we've been hearing here lately about this whole thing about the Kiss End of the Road tour, and how Ace keeps talking about how he's got to be on the tour, he's got to be on the tour, or that they'll sooner or later come to him and Peter, or you know, he wants to regain his throne. I have some thoughts about that, but first I want to show you some clips from this video that I saw online earlier this week.
You know, those guys, they change like the weather. You know, 6 months ago, when Paul was asked, is Ace going to be involved in future concerts, he said absolutely not. You know, the past is the past, and now is now. You know, and
I want to stop here for just a second because, you know, sometimes we talk about how we hear Paul and Gene saying the same thing over and over. Well, you know, Peter's the one that's been silent, but Ace is starting to say a lot of the same things over and over. This is actually the third or fourth video I've heard him say some of these things in. So let's keep going.
in the last week or two, he's saying, I wouldn't rule it out. And then he did another interview where he said there'll probably be some old members coming back as guests for the new tour, for the last tour. But he's not mentioning any names. You know, they're testing the waters. I think they're waiting for promoters to come back and say, well, we'll give you X amount of dollars if Ace is involved and Peter's involved. You know, it's all about money with those guys. And they'll be the first to admit it, especially Gene. I mean, like I said it you said you saw that interview. You know, I said when Doc McGee gets a call from a promoter and they say, we'll give you double the amount of money with Ace and Peter, we're going to get the call because, you know, who wouldn't do that, you know?
Okay, so there's one of the things he says here. He says it's all about the money with those guys. And I understand, but I think it's all about the money with Ace too. You know, and I think Ace has poised himself to actually be on the tour, or Ace says he wouldn't headline. Or said he wouldn't open. I honestly think that Ace would open at some point. Here's what I think would happen. I think that Ace would come on and do some of his songs, and he would open for Kiss with his band, supporting his album. And he would maybe do his songs. Maybe he would throw in some Kiss songs that he sings that wouldn't normally be in the Kiss set, like Rocket Ride, Torpedo Girl, things that he's been practicing. If you notice, he's been practicing a lot of the same songs. And he's getting better, which I'm going to get to later in this video. But I think, here's what I think is going to happen. And I guess future time we'll look back on this video and we'll see if I was right or not. But I think Ace Frehley is going to end up opening for Kiss on the End of the Road tour. They've not talked about an opening band from what I've seen. And I think Ace is going to end up opening. And I think at some point in time, Ace is going to end up being on the stage in makeup. I know it takes a while to put the makeup on, but he could come out at the very end of the show. If they do a 2-hour show, a 3-hour show, he could get his makeup on. He could have makeup artists that are putting the makeup on for him and getting it on faster. But then Ace comes out, and then he does a few songs in the encore with Kiss. And I would not be surprised if we don't see Peter, because I've actually heard more than once Ace saying, you know, that Peter, maybe be cool if Peter comes out and does a few songs. And so that's the big stir going around. So what I think is going to happen in all this is I think that Ace is going to end up on this tour opening for Kiss, but he is in some point in time going to be on the stage in his makeup. Tommy will not be on the stage. Eric will not be on the stage. It will be Ace and it will be Peter. That's my prediction. We'll see in a few years or in a few months if I'm right or not. So let's go ahead and go on to the second thing I wanted to talk about. I did have a video playing back here in the back, and it's not playing anymore. But this is basically footage from the Kiss Cruise. This is somebody, they've got it online. It's the all hour and 15-minute show of Ace. This is Ace doing Rocket Ride on the back here. This is Ace on the cruise. I'm going to turn this up where we can hear this a little bit here. It's one of my favorite songs. I love by Ace. We're going to let it get into the bridge and the chorus here. Now, let me turn this down here so I can talk. Ace actually doesn't sound too bad in this version of Rocket Ride because he's done Rocket Ride before. It's the songs like Torpedo Girl and Dark Light and things like that that he's not sounded very good doing. But he's sounding a little better even with Rocket Ride. And I'm going to turn this down entirely here. I'm going to keep it playing. But I'm going to go over here to my screen and we're going to listen to this a little bit. So he's actually even playing it a little faster. And I can't tell if he's tuned down. It doesn't sound like it. He may be. I always like that little thing that he does where whenever he slides up chromatically, he hits the end of his guitar. He actually sounds really good. Now, this band he's got playing for him, man, they're tight. They sound so good. Nah, I'm going to stop that there, but I like to see Ace focusing. I mean, I know he's tossing out picks for the fans and everything. I'd like to see Ace focusing a little more on playing, a little more on singing. But that's just me. And that's being nitpicky. And like I said, I love Ace. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love Ace. I like all members of KISS. There's some I like better than others, but I like all members of KISS. But I think he sounds better. And I think he's going to sound better. And I think this is Ace's warming up to, like I said, I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not a betting man. I'm not going to bet on it. But I think we might see something. The last thing I want to talk about is a limited edition that's coming out of another KISS album. I like to keep you guys in touch on stuff like this, and I'm going to show my screen here. This is on the Sound of Vinyl, and I've already got this. I've already got this pre-ordered, of course. You see it ships on 12/3. This is Rock and Roll Over limited edition. It's going to be translucent gold, 180 gram. It's going to be really cool. And I really like that they're doing this. They did the Destroyer last year in the black and red marble. I've got that. I haven't opened it. They're going to, I can't remember if they've got on here how many of these they're actually going to press. But it's the classic Rock and Roll Over. But I don't know how many they're going to press. It's usually pretty limited runs, 3,000, 5,000. I don't know how many there are. If I can find out how many there are, between now and then, I'll put it in the description of how many pressings there actually are, so you can look in there. Or I might throw it on the screen here. But anyway, I wanted to make a short little video, basically talking about my thoughts about how Ace is going to be involved in the End of the Road tour. And just to give you, the KISS Army and my viewers who are interested, a heads up on the repressing or the reissue of Rock and Roll Over in the translucent gold. I think that's really cool. I'll have mine get yours. They'll be collector's items. But anyway, that's it for me. If you want to, if you like this video, feel free to click my name here, subscribe, click the notifications button so you get notifications. Give this video a like. And if you want to see other videos, I'm sure I'll have a video popped up here that has something to do with something. But anyway, that's all I've got. I appreciate you guys watching. I just had a video hit over 1,000 views. My Paul Stanley talks about his video. I may show that one here. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. That's my first video to go over 1,000 views. So I really appreciate everybody who watched it and continue to watch my videos and pump my numbers up, because I like for y'all to be looking at me. Anyway, I'm Brant. It's In My Head channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.